Oof, that's a very loaded, very loaded quote for myself. I would like to learn a lot more about international and European business in order to start an international career after I graduate. That is currently still very applicable. During the master, I realized that if you want to have something that is a bit more impactful, you have to really spread your view. And you have to look beyond what we know in Belgium, but also what we know in Europe. Wherever you are in a country or whoever you deal with, there is an aspect of cultures, of habits, but also of best practices, for instance, that you would not have considered. I will always push myself further in order to improve my skills and to expand my knowledge. That is still very true, but now I'm trying to balance it more. And I try to push for the things that I'm most passionate about, social life or family, for instance, and to kind of prioritize them over the things that maybe past me would have pushed for still. I believe that disruption can be beneficial for economies and societies. Oof, that's a very loaded, very loaded quote for myself. So there is always something that you would read, and then my master would help me to say, yes, but how can we take all these different pieces of information, for instance, about disruption together, and how can we interpret them and put them in perspective that we can learn something from it and work with it. Globalization needs to be managed well if a country wants to benefit from it. Yes, I still 100% believe it, but I think it's a bit more complicated than what I realized or what I thought when I wrote this. This is a bit what my master then taught me. What can well managed mean? How can we approach this? Who is involved? What role do they play? Because now I know that there are so many pieces in this puzzle that need to fit. I would tell my past self to stop comparing myself with other people. Building on your own strengths is a lot more valuable than trying to be someone you're not. If you just dare to be yourself, that means that naturally you're gonna like, for instance, your job better because you feel well in it. It means that most likely you're gonna be performing better at it because it comes naturally to you. And therefore, everything will just be a little bit less complex.